Googly moogly, what is going on out there, everybody? My name is Sean Carrier. Thank you for tuning in to Bet Edge. We are absolutely scorching right now, coming off our best 4-day stretch of the entire season, up over 11 units in that time frame, thanks to the Pittsburgh Penguins hoisting the Stanley Cup, and the Golden State Warriors were so kind to us throughout the duration of the NBA Finals. So a big shout out and thank you to those two squads. But it's another day. We're chasing another dollar, looking to keep it rolling here. So let's dive right in. The U.S. Open right around the corner. Quick preview and picks of the course and who I like this week. The stop this week is Erin Hills. Definitely a typical U.S. Open setup. If you hit your ball in the fescue, you absolutely cooked. I've been seeing some videos of guys walking into the fescue and getting lost. I mean, you can't even see them. It's crazy. But the fairways are enormously large for what you would expect. So it might not be that bad. If you can control your ball even a little bit and just get it in the fairway, you should be okay from what I'm reading. But the greens are tough. It's extremely long. It's about 7,800 yards. I've read it can get up to 8,000. So that could be a major factor. You're going to have some length off the tee, and you're going to have to be a finely tuned athlete. I mean, an 8,000-yard walk in treacherous conditions, I think, is really going to eliminate the guys with beer bellies and guts, or even like the older golfers like your Steve Stricker. Steve Stricker lined up very well when I was breaking it down statistically, but just from what I'm reading about how treacherous the walk is, I will be avoiding all guys I think that can kind of wear and tear and break down throughout the course of 8,000-yard walks day after day. So with all that said, I've arrived at 3 guys that really rose to the top for me, that sort of checked each and every single box. So if I could only bet one guy this week, it would definitely be the Rickster, Mr. Rickie Fowler, in his bright orange. I'm looking for a bright performance from the Rickster this week. It lines up better for him than I think anybody else coming in. He's second in strokes gained total, 25th in driving accuracy, which, as I said, is going to be very important. First in total driving, 15th in strokes gained around the green, which I think is going to be another very important factor. 13th in strokes gained approach, 7th in strokes gained putting, which is always great to have, and 3rd in par 5 birdie or better, which may be the most important stat this week. From what we know of U.S. Open history, very hard to score, and the par 5s usually lend themselves to the better scoring opportunities. So the guys that can really capitalize on those par 5s this week, I really think are going to be the guys to look at. So as I said, it lines up better for the Rickster than anybody else. He's got a win already this year, a gang of top 5s. Probably should have won 2 weeks ago. I don't think he was trying to win last week at the St. Jude. I think he was trying to miss that cut so he could get to Erin Hills and start his preparation, which I absolutely love. And he really reminds me of Dustin Johnson coming into last year. I mean, Dustin was the guy that was kind of right on the fringe of those elite golfers. He won that U.S. Open, went on the tear, and now is #1 in the world. To me, Rickie is that guy. I mean, he's right on the fringe of those 10 to 13 to 1 guys this week. Your Dustin Johnsons, Rory McIlroys, Jordan Spieths. But if he wins this U.S. Open, this will be the thing, I think, that catapults him into that upper echelon of guys. So I love the narrative. I love the way the Rickster's playing. I think the course suits him very well. As I said, if I could only bet one guy, it would be him. So sign us up. We're going to throw $30 at him at 23 to 1. We'll return just under $700. Great value. Love it all day long. If I could only bet 2 guys, the second guy would be Mr. Ty Hatton. He just reminds me so much of Danny Willett going into his Masters win. This guy is the 18th ranked golfer in the world golf rankings and is listed at over 150 to 1. I mean, that boggles the mind, the value there. And if you look at the stats, 4th in strokes gained total this year on the PGA Tour. I mean, that's kind of an all-encompassing stat, and he's right there. I mean, in the top 5 of every single ranked golfer. He's 23rd in strokes gained approach and 1st in strokes gained putting. Nobody rolling the rock better than Mr. Ty Hatton this year in golf. And he's got that Euro game that suits the U.S. Open. If the wind starts to blow, you get those treacherous conditions, this guy has the game to get it done. And at 150 to 1, I will pull that trigger each and every single time. Before it's all said and done and we tee off Thursday morning, I might have clicked that Ty Hatton button a few more times. I mean, it's a great, great bet. I think you're silly to not make this bet, even if it doesn't win. The value there, you just don't get that very often. The third guy in the three-pack, a former major winner. As you can see him just donning that glorious green jacket, Mr. Charl Schwartzel has the game also, and his game is rounding into form. He really did almost win last week at the St. Jude. Had a great, great Sunday, finished at 9 under par, and it lines up really well for him also. He's 9th in that par 5 birdie or better, so he can take advantage of those par 5s. He's 10th in sand save percentage. And from what I'm reading, the bunkers this week could really just kill somebody. There's a bunch of bunkers where if your ball goes into them, you're probably going to have to play out backwards. So being crafty out of the sand, I think, can really help you this week. He's got that. He's 43rd in strokes gained approach. The game really, as I said, coming into form. And the South African contingent usually shows up at these U.S. Opens. I mean, it's exactly what they do. I mean, you need that gritty, grinding golfer that is money over 10-footers. That's Mr. Charl Schwartzel. That's why he's the third guy of the three-pack. So those are my three favorite guys. There were a bunch of others that really were so close, but I think I'm going to save that money for some live betting opportunities. So stay tuned. Give me a follow at bet_edge. Any bets that I'm going to pull the trigger on throughout the 4 days of the U.S. Open, I'll definitely throw up there. I love me some end-of-round leader bets. Those are usually my big money winners week after week. And I'm going to throw a bunch of three balls up there also. So, yeah, definitely follow me on Twitter at bet_edge. I'll throw all that stuff up there. But right now, these are the three guys I'm keying in on. The value's there. That's why I'm putting this money in before the tournament kicks off. So I really hope this video helps any bets you guys are thinking of making out there. If you have any questions as to any other golfers, the course, anything like that, get at me on Twitter. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions you guys may have. As always, thank you for tuning in. Good night and good luck.
Oh, yeah. I'm with this. I'm just gonna sit here laid back to this nice mellow beat, you know, and drop some smooth lyrics. Cause it's 88. Time to set it straight, you know what I'm saying? And there ain't no half stepping. Word.